think we've done this one before. So this one is Safy. Safy? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's that. Use 2000 Lucio on Elios. Oh, I hear some fuzziness in the background. Oh, a little bit. Alright. Speed boosting, getting everyone. Hold on, did he not amp it up? Alright, here we go. Okay, so amp it up is the first thing I would say right now. You didn't use it.
May, Diva, Roadhog, or Winston, Diva, May out of this. Oh boy. Help, help, help. Thank you, Zarya. I'm with you, Reaper.
Okay. Was a little bit ballsy with no health. Yeah, just be, you had no health and you dove in to try to boop him for some reason. Yeah, definitely be a little bit safer than that. Your team cleaned up. I think most everything there was fine. Just don't be the first one out charging their tanks and DPS alone. It's usually suicide. These standard priorities or higher priorities? I think these are standardish. I don't know. You probably need to go help your Reinhardt. Okay. So this is kind of the thing that supports. You're working with your teammates, right? Since you're working with your teammates, you don't know them perfectly, but you'll see personality types, and one of the personality types is with Reinhardts, and they'll just charge in. You kind of got to understand that you need to get to where they're at and assist them.
Nice shatter, nice shatter. Good grab. No more ults. I think we're gonna win this fight from here.
You're shot calling. I like that. I don't know if your teammates can hear you, but you're the only one talking.
Never mind, he's bringing himself.
But yeah, so one of the personality types are people that just run in and charge. That was at least not too suicidal with Reinhardt, because he charged across the battlefield horizontally instead of like at the enemy base. So he was just kind of stuck in the corner alone. But yeah, you definitely can assist them with that one. Just because if Reinhardt charges a tank, the tank usually doesn't die. So he'll need a little bit of help. Okay, speed boost to get to your allies. I like it.
Winston low, Winston low, Winston low. Winston one touch.
Okay, your team's doing decent. Nice. So far, so good. For what are you at? 2,000? Yeah, I think you're playing quite fine for 2,000. Suicide runs are so cringy. Since this is solo queue, you work with what tools you're given, and if you're given people that like to suicide, I mean, at least that wasn't a too suicidal Rein charge, since, like I said, it was horizontal across combat. It wasn't into the enemy base. Again, you didn't amp it up. I don't know if you're looking to like heal them right away. Careful about this. I think your Reaper just got booped that way. Okay, the point's lost, so try to get out if you can. Jumped off the May's head. That was pretty good. Keep the healing coming. This is good. So I think this is pretty good. And what I actually like more than anything is that you're not... So many Lucios just look for that right there. When it happens, it happens. I didn't see you looking for it. Which I appreciate tremendously. You probably hold the ult. I hope you do hold the ult. Okay. You're looking at the kill feed, you know you didn't... Yeah, okay, I like that. I like how you're holding the ult. This is great. Perfect. Good, good. That's good combat awareness. That's kind of funny. But yeah, overall, really good.
Far coming in. Up, Rana?
Okay, this is a lost fight as well. Okay, good. I'm glad you died. Oh, actually... This is the problem. Ugh. Sometimes the point's lost and you guys, like, you'll start whipping out all these ults at, like, the most desperate point of combat. You'll try to ult to just try to get something in your favor. This is a big mentality switch that most people need to avoid. Don't ult to get a 5-man kill. If it presents itself, then do it. But if you can ult and get 2 kills, do that before letting the team get on you, and then you're in this point of, I have to ult and I have to kill everyone, or we lose. Like, that's a really shitty time to have to ult. It's ults like that that become very apparent and can be essentially easily, you know, scoutable. Okay, so you're the... Yeah, that was... You're the first one in. They got a Lucio, so, you know, his boop is very easy. You know, can hit you. Winston is easily going to hit you. Either when you get close enough. So this is kind of... When playing supports, you have to understand your team's mentality. And if your team isn't confident enough to go into battle... Like, you didn't need to go on point to ult that. You needed to be where your allies were. So what you do is you boost your allies, and then you ult, and then they have the confidence to attack the point. You have to give them confidence to go in. You can't run on the point and be like, oh, I hope my team's following. I'm going to ult on point now. You kind of got to bolster their confidence. But again, what you did is you ran in, and you got to a point where you're like, I have to win or we lose. Like, I have to hit everyone with my ult or we lose. And that's a really shit time to ult. It's cool when it does happen and everyone feels great, but it's not efficient. If you can save 2 of your allies instead of all 6, do that. Because you'll save 2 before you can save the 6. It's just like when you have offensive ults. You use it to kill 2 people before you're in a desperate situation where you have to kill all 6. What's up, Ferris to your right?
Far in the air. To the left.
Okay. This is good. Oh.
Nice kill, nice kill. Far's escorted. She's near the lighthouse.
So don't worry too much about the Pharah, about shooting her. Definitely look at where your teams are at and help them out. With this Reinhardt... That Reinhardt... You need to stick to your Reinhardt, boy. Look at him. He's going nuts. Again, that fucking Reinhardt. Man, he did work. Those were one of those times I think you were searching for the boop a little bit too hard instead of, you know, your Reinhardt was... He was on the other side of the field alone, just smacking people. Do I do reviews up to top 100? I do reviews on everyone. The thing is that the top the best of the best make the same mistakes the worst of the worst make. They just do it in a lesser extent. Trust me. And it's all about noticing how thin this margin is, and that's what the better players do. Don't put your back to a... Okay. Okay. So don't... Oh, it's you and Azaria. Holy shit. Don't do that again.
Bastion on point, Bastion on point.
That was playing against the player, not the hero. A good Bastion would have killed you. I mean, maybe you saw it at the last second, but yeah. Alright, one Batman. That's cool. We can definitely go over that. Can you boop someone if they're frozen? You can.
The far is now a Bastion.
It looks like everyone's full. You probably want a speed boost at this time. Flanking Lucio.
Bastion's on the right side of the...
You're looking for that boop kill way too much. So there, sometimes there you go. It just comes to you. Don't worry about forcing it.
We gotta pick. Let's go. Let's make this happen.
Alt. You got 2 picks. I would still alt, and just
Watch out for Lucio.
100%. Okay, okay. Okay, okay.
Nice kills. No more ults. No more ults. No more ults. No more ults. No more ults.
So you're actually being a little bit greedy, I would think, with your alt. I know it's working out, but understand that, like I said, I've explained it before. If you can save 2 people and make it 100% that you get the point, then do that.
Good retake, everybody. Focus the mercy. Focus the mercy.
Okay. Yeah, if Winston's hitting all of you, definitely heal. That fucking Bastion.
Thank you, Hans. Watch out for the May. Focus the May. Focus the May.
I don't... Okay.
Nice charge. Nice charge.
Okay.
Winston low. Winston low. Winston low. Diva, Diva. Fail. She'd use a bolt.
Okay. I think you're doing very, very good. Oh, you're going for the boop a little bit too hard, but she is alone, so that's okay-ish. Yeah. Really far up there.
Thank you, thank you,
Oh.
thank you.
The base on her soldier. How about soldier?
See, that's one of those times. Everyone's trying to ult to win the game right now and kill everyone.
Regroup, back out, back
It's
out.
best to regroup. I can't see how much time there is. Oh, it's 70%. So that's one of those times where it's like, alright, everyone, just don't use your ults. Let's re-attack the point. We lost it for whatever reason. Just come back.
I'm coming back with Zen. Focus the Bastion. Focus the Bastion.
Punch him.
Bastion down. Focus the Lucio.
I noticed that you're not using quick melee at all either. Alright, you're holding it together.
Winston's on us.
When times like that happen, you can boop Winston. So Winston is actually very, very vulnerable to knockback type skills when he's leaping. That's it. So yeah, you never actually... Oh, that's right. It's best of 5s now. Or best of 5s back then. When Winston is leaping, he is very, very vulnerable to knockbacks. So Junkrats, if you want to hit him with an Explodey, hit him with that. If you want to boop him, definitely boop him. But He can't change his trajectory that much once he's leapt and he's in the air. With Junkrat, you can actually do this, or Lucio as well. Essentially, as the Winston is falling, you can actually boop him up, and he will bounce again and go like this. And I've killed a number of Winstons like this. Because there'll be like some terrain feature right here, and there'll be death right there. And you can actually boop them into that stuff. So yeah, I would just be wary of your, yeah. I think a couple times you died. You were so far away, you're so far up front. And you had nothing to protect you, except the fact that you were evasive. I would actually amp this guy up. Again, amp up as soon as you get, like, during the rollout. As a Lucio, you want to get your team to the choke point before they get there. Oh, Fitzy! And I was an auto-host Fisty, but thank you. Anyone coming from Fitzy's stream, this is a review night where we review anyone and everyone. Again, you're jumping in way too deep. You cannot base your survival on dodging everything as a Lucio. They're running Mei Winston, which both of those weapons don't require the greatest aim. If Mei touches you once, you're so slow that everyone's going to kill you. Hello. Okay. I saw you kind of left someone in battle there. So the fair's still in the air. Yep, notice where she's shooting.
Nice kill, Zarya. Let's push in.
Again, you're the first one in. Alright, watch for the knockoff stuff. Alright, cool. The best part about that is that Mercy was falling for like 15 seconds. She was just gliding and she finally glided to her death. So... Oh, you did not need that. So... Punch him. Okay, so one thing I would definitely suggest about now is you don't use quick melee ever. You need to start adding that into your skill set. Especially when someone was super low with Discord on them. At that point, your melee does, what, like 43 damage? No, it'd be 39 damage. Just laser? Yeah. Yeah, it appears that he uses his amp during combat as soon as people start getting hurt. Instead of amping speed and then having an amp up, or when damage starts adding up.
Winston D.Va on point. Winston D.Va on point.
So this is really good. Winston D.Va, not the greatest guys at DPS. But yeah, when healing through them with amp it up is perfect. Okay, okay. Okay, I think that was a... Oh, I think that was a good one. Okay. It's a bit hectic. Okay, this is going really, really well. I think you're making all the appropriate changes right now. Using speed when you need to, not using speed when you need to, you know, when heal. Okay.
Way to
Not
pull
bad.
together, everybody. Holy shit, that was awesome.
Gilder, this is your favorite night? Well, thank you. The Searing Sight, thank you for the $5, my friend. Guess who's back? Yep, it is you. You also missed a bunch. We'll let the spawn go through and we'll watch it while I read out some donation. Ants was the last one I read out, so ooze. Thank you for the 6-month resub, half a year. Damn, it's been that long already. But thank you, man. Sevis1 subscribed. Thank you, Sevis. Welcome to being a crony. Enjoy your emotes. And you also gave me 5 bits with a bunch of cheers. Thank you. And then Biodrone with a 2-month resub. He says, Junkrat bad, please swap. Fucking story of my life, man. Also, Spidey and Ned gave me 10 bits and he says, B-Day 2, B-Day 2, B-Day 2. Well, thank you for all of those. All right. Oh, careful about that. Oh, shit, man.
Ryan's low, Ryan low. What's low, what's low?
This is all really good.
They're down a healer. Get the Junkrat.
Good. Good, good, good. So yeah, if you see, well, I mean, it would be different now. Honestly, if you see Junkrat use the concussive mine, he is a little bit weak to a Lucio. He can still hit you, but he has to land 2 pretty good shots on you. Can't say that now with the current Junkrat.
Tire coming in from near the well. Lighthouse, going to the lighthouse.
All right, good job. Man, all of these points have been super long on taking it the first time. Oh, on those?
Arista's gonna try for boots. Watch out, watch out.
So you had the advantage on the point. You had more people there, you had more health, and the Winston was actually trying to get away. You don't always have to boot people when it's up. Right, you don't want to assist them.
Well, watch out. Lucio on the ball. Get him. Good. Nice, 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 nice.
Lucio booped Diva's mech away while she's ulting. I don't think so. So if she's ulting with thrusters, nothing can interrupt that. If it's just on the ground and she ulted, I don't think you can boop it.
Halt is down. Get the Arista. Focus the Arista.
But I haven't seen much Lucio Diva interaction.
Junkrat in the small health pack room.
Okay, now you're going back to using callouts. Punch him. Okay, that's one of those times. Again, punching. Okay.
Help her McCree. Help her McCree.
All right, using speed to get over to your McCree, but then you just leave him.
Winston discorded.
I want to get away. I think this is one of those times you want to ult.
We're being flanked by the soldier. Soldier. Junkrat's now soldier. Soldier on the left side.
So it's starting to get to that point. All right, you lost your Diva. You lost your... see? Now you're going to be ulting too late. But now that it's just overtime, now just see what you can get. That was a solo ult.
Get out of there.
So your accuracy, your accuracy is a little rough. But again, you had 99% on the point. They had 0. That was a solo ult. It's better to just try to get your teammates or die and then regroup. Don't worry about saving the point that much.
Back out, back out, back out. Everybody back out. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Again, you were kind of solo on the point here. So again, sit outside the point. Sit at spawn if you have to. Do whatever you can to regroup.
Alright guys, let's go in, let's go in. Winston down?
Okay. Oh! That sucks. There's a soldier ulting. Careful about crossing mid like that. Always remember crossing mid is dangerous. And what I mean by that is if your team's on the right flank and you want to cross mid to get to the left flank, going straight across mid is incredibly dangerous.
Flanking soldier, get on the point.
Yep. So you had to get on the point, but you don't have to jump all the way on the point.
Help Winston. Get to Winston. Get to Winston.
Looking rough.
Get on the point. Get on point. I'll come back with sound barrier. Get on point. Get on point. Get on point.
Nope, they can't make it. That happens. It wasn't bad though. That was actually a pretty good game. For 2000 level, I think you're doing really good. So for 2KSR, I think that yeah, you're doing damn good. Again, know when the point is lost. That's the second time that that's happened tonight. And I know that the other review wasn't you, but this is the second review in a row that we're doing where people solo ult to hold a point at 99% when the other team has 0%. Just let the point fall. Just let the point fall, get with your team, then you can do it again. Right? Support ults, very rarely do you want to use support off just to hold the point by yourself. Right? Support ults work with your team. Of course, there's exceptions, you know, sometimes you do have to do that, but few and far between. Especially when you're at a point like this where it's 99 to 0%, definitely give it up. Let them have 10, 20%, big fucking whoop if you can take the next fight and win. All you need is one good fight and you win. So that's why you want to stack all your ults and then just try to get that fight. Logistics, I think you're doing fine, except for the rollout. And by that, I mean the first time out of spawn. The whole point of the rollout with Lucio is speed boost and amp right away. And what you do is almost all, well, I'll just say most King of the Hills. I think it's actually all King of the Hills. Follow this. Open area, 1 or 2 choke points. Open area, points over here. Choke point, open area. This is essentially all King of the Hill maps. Your job as Lucio is to get your team from spawn through one of the choke points. I don't care which one, just pick one. And if you can, close enough to stick the other team in their choke point. Or make it feel very uncomfortable for their team to get out. This is Lucio's biggest advantage. To the point where on Nepal. I forget what map it is. It's the one outside. I think it's Temple. It's the one with the roof over the point. Everyone goes high ground. If I have a team that's not running Lucio, it's essentially don't even go up. Don't even take the high ground. Take the low ground that's next to the point on that map, and then deal it from there. Going high ground with no Lucio, the team's going to be right here, and you're going to be going up against a fucking massive disadvantage. Yeah. So King of the Hill Lucio, this is like 101. This is the basics of the basics. Definitely use speed and amp it up. It looked like you were amping it up. Actually, you never amped it up out of spawn. You waited till someone took damage on point, and then you went from there. And then you switched to heal and you amped it up. And it could have even been like a diva shooting at 20 meters, and you're trying to amp up heal through it, which is you can heal through it with just normal healing. I do think you're switching back and forth between. I think you're what do they call it? What the hell is that Lucio move called? Oops. Crossfade. That's right. The crossfade. I think you're doing crossfade at the right times. That was good. So we talked about that. Logistics. Also logistically and positionally. A lot of your deaths were too far forward. With relation to team. So being out of position is actually completely dependent on where your team is at. Right? You can't, here's the point. Here's well. Like if you're up here and your spawn's this way, if your team's all around you, you're not out of position, right? That's fine. But if your team's back here, then you are out of position. That's the problem with positioning. It's not like a hard, fast rule. It's like, oh, where's my team at? Where's the enemy team at? And that's what dictates if I'm out of position or not. Also, if they know if you're there or not, or your abilities to get out. Right, if someone, let's say a Winston has leap, then he can actually do something here and then leap out. Technically, he's not out of position. He has to burn some resources, but yeah. But as a Lucio, you just kind of got to amp it up in speed, and you hope they don't hit you. That's rough, especially with 200 hit points. Winston, Diva, these people, they can run away because they have 500-600 hit points. Someone asked, do you think Lucio using speed boost is enough of a signal for a team to rush in? At Grandmaster, I would say yes. At other ranks, I cannot say yes or no. Because I just don't play those ranks. So essentially, Lucio, he deals with choke points a lot. So here's this picture again. Choke point, mid, choke point, spawn. And this is King of the Hill, but it translates to other maps as well. Yeah, Lucio does. He assists getting through choke points by amping it up with speed. Because going through a choke point is very dangerous. Like, this is the danger area of the choke point. And you gotta get the fuck out of there. Lucio just mitigates your time spent in there to get through it as quick as you can. So normally I would say yes, Lucio amping it up means, shit, everyone, let's do this. But at the lower ranks, I can't say if that's true or not. Because sometimes they don't care. They may be like, what the fuck's Lucio doing amping it up? I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, but yeah, definitely get through choke points with Lucio. Push through if you guys take, technically you should be taking less damage. And then once you get through the choke point, start healing. Right? Because you're spending less time in the choke point, I would assume you take less damage than if you didn't. And because you take less damage, you can definitely switch to heal, and then you can heal up that little bit of damage. Right? They work together. On point, I think you were doing just fine. Like when big abilities are coming out, you're speed boosting people out of the point. Other than that, you're healing. You were, being all nimbly bimbly on point. That's fine when everyone's around there. The Problem is that a couple times you were, actually I said more than a couple, you were too far forward. You were like the first one on point. You're like, come on, guys, let's do this. And everyone's like, the fuck's that Lucio doing? And then you just got killed. Also, as a support, you have to understand that understanding your team's psychology is really, really important. Essentially, if there's a point, if you want your team to attack it, yes, you can speed boost, and that will get some people. But remember, people just don't jump on point. Do you know why? Because they don't feel safe there. They don't feel like they can do something. But if you Lucio ult before the point and get them all, then they're like, oh, I have a free 600 hit points. I can jump on that point now. I can do all this stuff, right? They get more faith in doing something. They get more faith about taking the point. So it's less about a signal to attack, and it's more about making people feel safer doing what they need to do. And that is kind of your job as a support. Is you need, or actually anyone, any character in general. That's what I do as Junkrat. As a Junkrat, essentially, I will dominate a spot on the map, and I'm like, look, guys, look how safe this area is. And they're like, man, look at that spot. So fucking safe. Let's go there. It's so safe. And then they'll go there. And that's kind of how I affect player psychology as a Junkrat. Support's got to do this as well. They got to be like, all right, it's safe to go there. I will go there, right? So that's a big, big part of it. And that kind of, I don't know, maybe that falls under information, but that's player psychology, and that's, you kind of got to understand what your team's feeling and thinking, and then how to work with it. Action, so your accuracy, I think your accuracy was fine. Actually, I think it was, yeah, I'm going to give it a check. It was okay. Lucio can headshot. He doesn't have the highest DPS, but sometimes hitting 3 or 4 headshots, you know, from one attack makes or breaks the game. Oh, also quick melee. That's right. You didn't do that. Quick melee. You never did that. Start adding that in. You actually didn't do it at all. Remember, it goes through shields. It's very, very helpful. Yeah. I think those are the main things we can cover. If I had to fix anything, if I had to tell you to be like, all right, work on these one things and then come back. Because here's the problem. A lot of coaches or analysts will review a review and they say every little thing that's wrong. And if you ever teach like some of that in you know, normal life, they don't know, it doesn't help them at all. There's too much to go over. Maybe you can go back to it for reference, but most people can't deal with that type level of critique. So if I had to critique one thing, this is huge. Like the quick melee is a little less huge, but positioning, for me, I always see that as king. Positioning is king. That's all there is to it. In any game you play, positioning is king. Also in life, positioning is king. Right? If we're talking about like the corporate ladder, if I put myself in a spot, position-wise, where I know I'm going to get the next like promotion, it doesn't matter how good you do that year. You can work your ass off. If I'm already in spot to get that next promotion, I get it, you don't. That's not to dishearten people that you can't work for something in life, but it's someone has to really work their ass off for me to do not a lot of work because I'm in the correct position to get that promotion. Right? That's the truth of it. Right? It doesn't matter how fast anyone is. I don't care how fast Usain Bolt is. If I'm already at the finish line, then I win. Doesn't matter where he starts. I win. So stuff like that. Position king. There you go. Got a nice little crown. So if there's any questions. What's the lowest ranked I've played? I placed season 2 at 2750. Then I got out of there really quick. And my Smurf is currently at 3650. Something like that. Is that a position for skill comparison? Skill gets put on top of position. Position is all about getting to a spot where I have to use the least skill possible to accomplish what I want. That being said, if I have a tremendous amount of skill and I have good positioning, it's very difficult to take that. You have no idea what this says? It says too far forward with relation to team. No questions? No questions. We will move on then. Let me get some